Hi everyone, it's been a while since the last Devlog game, but there is a reason for that. I've been working on a new mechanic, or rather refining it from the bare minimum version. A bit later I will show what I ended up with and some intermediate iterations. Let's start simple. I added character avoidance so they no longer bump into each other and get stuck item dump. I also added proper support for larger resolutions. Now there is basically no difference between resolutions, everything works correctly. I still need more testing, especially on monitors that aren't 16 on 9 aspect ratio, but that's for later. Besides, I don't even own such a monitor, I don't really like them, unfortunately. Now, stepping his things up a bit, I finally published the Steam page and we already have 26 wishlist. We need more, so I mentioned it here. The page is available in almost all language support by Steam and even in some that Steam doesn't allow in the description field. The game itself will support those language too. In the era of translator from Google to DeepL, I don't see a reason to artificially limit accessibility. And now for the juicy part. I have been developing a new core mechanic, potion transfiguration, and most likely in the future not just potion. Some details, so things might still change. And there's cauldron, and yes, historically they probably didn't have pipes like this, but I will figure out an in-game explanation. And inside the cauldron there are pipes. The player needs to feed liquid into them, especially the player selects the required aspects. I will probably redesign the selection system to make it more convenient later, but for now it's just buttons with aspects. So, the player pours liquids in and they flow downward using pseudo-physics. Currently, liquids don't properly account for density. Well, technically they do, and I will show two versions right now. But the problem is that once density is involved, things become very chaotic. The rules are simple. Several aspects are positioned around the cauldron. The player's goal is to guide each liquid to the correct aspect. Once a liquid reaches its target aspect, that aspect is completed and closed, and the player moves on to filling the remaining ones. When all aspects are filled, the cauldron produces whatever creation the player is crafting. There's where I'm currently stuck. Just like with combat, there were literally dozens of iterations which I'm showing you now, and it definitely wasn't easy. Originally the idea was to use energy instead of liquid. When I implemented that, it looked very unusual. Then I tried converting that energy into liquid form. That didn't feel right either. After that, I implemented proper pseudo-physics for liquids, then density, and long story short, this mechanic turned out to be more complex than I expected. I thought it was farther along than it actually was, but there is progress and that's what I'm sharing. This is not the final version, everything can still change. I remind about it. Thanks for watching, follow me on social media, leave likes, dislikes, comments, they really help the video reach more people. Bye everyone!